Hello and welcome back. Today we're taking another look at the iRobot Roomba 705 combo. I've already tested this robot extensively, especially in terms of cleaning performance. And on hard floors, it delivered something quite remarkable. When it comes to dust removal, this is currently the best combo robot on the market. It was the only combo device able to completely remove dust from the joints of my laminate flooring. Up until now, only the Dyson 360 VS Nav as a vacuum-only robot was able to do this from all the robots I have tested so far. Especially every combo model I've tested so far has failed in this specific scenario. Without exception. This one didn't. However, there is a clear downside. In its standard factory configuration, the vacuuming performance is not particularly strong. In my carpet tests, it ranked at the very bottom. So the obvious question was, can this be improved since there was made, at least in my opinion, a highly questionable design decision? So I thought about a modification, the first of several planned mods, and then put it through extensive carpet testing once again. Now we're going to look at the results. First, in comparison with Roborock, Dream, Mova, and the current top 7 ranking for each carpet, to determine whether this modification actually makes a meaningful difference and is worth the hassle since it will void the warranty. Let's get into it. Let's start with my dirt mat. In this test, 10 grams of bird sand were applied in a specific spot. Good results are generally anything above 90%. In the standard configuration, the robot achieved only 82%. With the modification, however, it reached 95%, an improvement of 13 percentage points. That makes the result genuinely solid. Looking at the top 7 overview, we can see that there are still better results in this category, with some models even reaching 100% in this test. But as mentioned before, anything above 90% is definitely solid. I then tested the same dirt mat again, this time using 5 grams of certified test dust. Here we see a significant improvement of 26 percentage points overall. With the modification, the robot achieved a pickup rate of 64% compared to just 38% without the modification. In the top 7 comparison, the results also look noticeably better. With the modification, the iRobot 705 combo comes close to entering the top 7, but doesn't quite make it. Next up is the dark blue carpet with a very soft pile. For this test, 10 grams of certified test dust were applied. Here again, we see a significant improvement, from 19% previously to now 39%. That's an increase of 20 percentage points. This result is enough to close the gap somewhat with various Mova, Dream, and Roborock devices. However, when we look at the top 7 comparison, it becomes clear that even almost all Mova, Dream, and Roborock results in this particular test are not especially strong overall, so even this improved result of the 705 combo is not groundbreaking. The top 7 rankings in this category start at 66% with the DJI Romo in its bristle brush configuration and go all the way up to 100% of the test dust being extracted. Finally, we have the red carpet with the very dense pile, which was also contaminated with 10 grams of certified test dust. This carpet is the most difficult to clean, as we can see from the overall results of all listed devices. The 10% achieved in the standard configuration is genuinely poor. There are very few devices that performed worse. The Mova Z50 is one of them, and the Eufy S1 Pro is another. With the modification, the result improves to 26%, an increase of 16 percentage points. So in direct comparison, that's a solid improvement. The modification clearly made a difference. However, the final result of 26% is still not particularly good, as we can see when comparing it to the top 7. Those rankings start at 39% with the Dream X40 in its rubber brush configuration. Most other devices hover around the 40% range, and there are still models that perform significantly better, achieving 60% or more, with the top results reaching around 70%. Now let's talk about the modification itself. With the iRobot Roomba 705 combo, I improved the airflow path since the original design seems to be not very good. I did this by simply drilling a hole into the bottom cover. The reason why becomes more obvious when we compare the Roomba 705 combo to the Dyson Spot and Scrub. Both devices are based on the Pika R2 platform. In my testing, the Dyson Spot and Scrub actually delivered better vacuuming performance than the Roomba 705 combo. As we can see here, at a specific location, exactly where the suction motor sits, which is not far from this point, the Dyson device has a ventilation grill. There are several holes integrated into the bottom cover so that air can exit there. The iRobot Roomba 705 combo does not have this. Its air outlet is positioned slightly lower, which we can see here, essentially a narrow slot that is facing towards the roller mop, causing an additional turn that is not even channeled or guided by the cover itself. What we also see is this cotton pad. Other robots mostly have it as well. It serves purely for noise reduction and has nothing to do with filtration. If you find dust at that location, it's actually a bad sign, because it means filtration earlier in the system is not working 100%, or there is some kind of leak. In that case, dust would be transported through the suction motor to that area, which is obviously not good for the motor nor for the surrounding air quality. What I did was drill a hole at this position using a metal drill, rotating it slowly, which works without any issues with this type of plastic. I gradually widened the hole, being careful near the screw area and not removing too much material there. I expanded it as much as possible so that it roughly matches the diameter of the suction motor's outlet. Additionally, I sealed the original ventilation grill using sealing tape to create an airflow path as straight as possible. I also removed the cotton pad. As we've seen, this led to noticeably better cleaning results. It's still not truly good overall, but it's significantly more usable on carpets, especially on low-pile carpets, as the test showed. The hard floor performance does not change much with this mod since the raw vacuuming performance and the cleaning head design are not very good for dust pickup. So, let's talk about the downsides. The disadvantages are obvious. First, you lose the manufacturer's warranty. Second, the noise level and possibly the overall sound profile of the device will likely change, especially if you remove the cotton pad. I didn't take any decibel measurements because overall it didn't bother me personally, but it's definitely something you should keep in mind. Now you might ask why I chose this invasive mod as the first one. That's quite simple. I was especially interested in seeing how this modified unit would perform compared to the Dyson Spot and Scrub AI without any further hardware changes and just the same airflow pathing. And when we look at the comparison here, we can see that the modified 705 combo is already capable of outperforming the Dyson Spot and Scrub in terms of cleaning performance. That's particularly interesting because the Dyson Spot and Scrub is equipped with a stronger suction motor. Within the Piscia lineup, the 18,000 Pascal motor is currently the most powerful version, while the 705 combo uses a weaker 13,000 Pascal motor. This clearly shows how much of a difference airflow design and similar factors can make. Of course, depending on the carpet, brush design also plays a role. But personally, I find this extremely interesting, which is exactly why I chose this rather invasive mod as the first step. And that naturally leads to another possible modification, replacing the suction motor itself. That can actually be done without leaving obvious traces. I'll try to get my hands on an S25 suction motor from Piscia. It would likely also be possible to use other motors from manufacturers like Nidec, Kelly's, or other common suppliers. I'll be taking a closer look at that soon. So if you don't want to miss that, feel free to subscribe and leave a like if you enjoyed this so far. One more thing. I bought this robot privately for round about 400 euros like new on eBay, specifically to be able to carry out these modifications, and obviously not at the original iRobot retail price. I mainly use this device for mopping, since its mopping function is very good. For vacuuming, I rely on the Dyson 360 Vis Nav. That's it for now. As mentioned, there will be 1 or 2 more videos about this robot coming soon. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye.